Coming up next on Jersey Matters, we're coming to you from the state capitol where two assemblymen, one a Democrat, one a Republican, are now back here after coming up short in the race. So what did they learn? We'll ask them. Then, in Newark, a new center has opened up for victims of domestic abuse. We'll take you there. And happy Father's Day. What says fathers better than baseball? And so we'll take you to the home of the Trenton Thunder. Those stories and a whole lot more because Jersey Matters. Welcome to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. We're going to take a look back at the gubernatorial primaries in New Jersey with Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli, who ran on the Republican side unsuccessfully. But before we start that, Assemblyman, and thank you for being here.
Not at all, Larry. Thank you.
We're recording this in a sad day in America when there was another shooting, this one in Washington. It seems politically motivated. A lot of details are coming in still, so we don't know exactly what happened. But we're getting a sense that Republican House members and senators who were just practicing for a bipartisan baseball game were attacked. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Now, to say this is troubling would be an understatement, and it's obvious that we're in a time of peak mental instability in our country. And I think all of us are struggling with what happened this morning, but also how to fix it, how to address it.
Well, how do you address it? How do you bring the temperature down in the country?
Well, I think one thing all leaders have to do is start to play down hyperpartisanship. I think that's the first place we could start. All of us that hold elected office, see if somehow, some way, without compromising our principles, can we begin to play down hyperpartisanship. That might sound like an oversimplification, but right now I'm struggling like every other American with what happened this morning and how to fix it.
Let's talk about the primary election from where you started, which was single digits, 4%, I believe one of the polls said. You ended up with over 30% of the vote and ran what everybody acknowledges was a good campaign. What did you learn from it?
Well, what I learned was this. As I went up and down the state, the depth of despair was greater than I had anticipated. People feeling as though we can't fix New Jersey. I believe we can. A gubernatorial election provides an opportunity to discuss how to fix it, and I'm hoping these two candidates rise to the occasion. And in the end, Kim Guadagno's successful. You
were tough on Kim Guadagno. You went after her on a couple of issues, especially her involvement in possible double pension dipping and the fact that you didn't believe that she could beat Phil Murphy and she wasn't the best candidate. How do you recoup now? Are you going to support her?
Well, listen, I'm all for having an honest conversation. That's what the primary is all about. But listen, just because I said those things doesn't necessarily mean I was right. A majority of Republican primary voters disagree with me, and they've picked Kim Guadagno. So it's my job to support the nominee, and I do.
And you wholeheartedly believe now she can beat Phil Murphy?
Oh, I do.
Because you didn't a week ago or a couple weeks ago.
Well, that's what I believed, but that's not what Republican primary voters believe by a 16-point margin. So I agree with what they now agree with, and let's beat Phil Murphy in the fall. He's a flawed candidate.
And you're going to campaign for her?
You bet.
You got a taste for a statewide election now. Is this the last one for you?
Oh, I don't know, Larry. I mean, I'm just coming off of 8 months of 18-month days.
But you liked it.
Oh, I enjoy every minute of it. I enjoy the challenge of it, and I enjoy the being out in front of people and convincing them why I'm in the best interest of the party and the state. The majority felt differently. But I'm going to decompress and then decide how best to help the state and the party going forward.
Because there's no question you ran an impressive race. There's no question you scared Kim Guadagno because she came out with attack ads against you. I don't think she felt like she was going to have to spend that much money in this primary. You forced her to spend some money. And so you ran a great campaign. I'm sure you caught the attention of people for a possible Senate run, for a possible run for governor in 4 years. If Kim Guadagno is not successful, there had to be some talk of that.
I'm focused on one thing right now. We've got 120 people running for the state legislature here in New Jersey on the Republican ticket, 40 Senate candidates and 80 Assembly candidates, and we have Kim Guadagno running for governor. The job is to be successful in November.
It's a difficult job for Republicans coming up in this election. You've got Chris Christie, who's not popular in the state, and you have Donald Trump, who's running into some problems in Washington. Is it in New Jersey? You have these two figures, very big figures, weighing down the Republican Party. Can you differentiate who's hurting you most?
Listen, here's the secret. Get out there and campaign 18 hours a day. Do the retail politics and convince people how you have ideas on how to fix the state of New Jersey. I think Kim Guadagno is going to do that better than Phil Murphy, and that's how Republicans win in November.
Are you going to campaign for Kim Guadagno?
Yes, I will do whatever the Lieutenant Governor asks me to do. If she thinks I could be of assistance, I will be there to be of assistance to her and those 120 Republicans running for state legislature and county freeholders and local elected officials.
You've obviously spoken to her since the election. How did that conversation go?
It went very, very well. I called at about 9:30 on the election night and conceded and congratulated her, and she was very gracious.
If you could change one thing in the campaign you ran, what would you change?
Well, listen, looking back, I knew there were three mountains I had to climb. One, she had about an 8-year head start in terms of name ID. She had $1 million advantage in terms of campaign funds. And she comes from GOP-rich Monmouth and Ocean County area. So my goal was to not only do all the things that I was doing that you were speaking to a few moments ago, but to overcome those three hills. At the end of the day, as hard as I tried, those were three mountains I just could not conquer.
It's hard to, I know it's difficult to admit that you're happy with the result when you don't win, but you did surprisingly well.
Listen, I am very, very disappointed in the outcome, but I am not at all disappointed in the effort. I am very, very proud of the campaign that we ran. I'm very, very proud of my campaign team. And I think we made Kim Guadagno a better gubernatorial candidate come the fall. I do believe competition makes us better.
Let's talk about Phil Murphy for a second. What should be Kim Guadagno, what should be the Republican campaign against Phil Murphy?
Well, I think she's already doing it, but I just find his positions to be hypocritical. I mean, this is a man, and let's celebrate his success. We believe in the capitalist system, but this is a man that made a handsome living, taking advantage of the most free enterprise system there is, Wall Street. And now as a political candidate, he's espousing socialistic views in my mind. $15 minimum wage, free college. That's not the way we leverage the free market system to solve our problems here in America or in New Jersey.
New Jersey has some horrible financial problems, and I don't think I'm overstating that. Can we afford the things that you're talking about?
We cannot. We cannot. There are some very, very drastic things we need to do in state government to change New Jersey, but you can't do it all by yourself in the form of government. You've got to leverage the free market system as well.
I just want to finish with this because, and I apologize for harping on the point.
Not at all.
But a few weeks ago, Kim Guadagno was unelectable. Your answer to that question was, well, the voters disagreed with me. That doesn't answer the question whether you believe, is she electable now?
I believe that Kim Guadagno could beat Phil Murphy, yes.
But you argued vehemently that that was not the case.
But I lost that argument by 16 points. I go with the majority. I'm a team player. We're a Republican Party, and our job now is to win in November.
Thank you so much for
doing
this.
Larry.
I really do appreciate it. Jack Ciattarelli, Assemblyman, and came close in the Republican primary for governor. When we come back, another candidate, a Democrat who came close, John Wisniewski, when Jersey Matters continues.